Hello everybody, welcome back to Daily Dictation 174, DD 174. If today is your first day, that's fine. You don't need to go back to the beginning. DD 174 will be from the news. It's a news story about an art heist. A burglary at an art museum. It was a disaster. It was huge. But you have to do the dictation. Before we go to DD 174, we need to go back to DD 173, which was a dialogue with some really good English expressions. Let's listen again.
We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one.
That would be inadvisable.
Excuse me?
If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 0 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system.
That was just an expression.
Expression of what?
A figure of speech.
It was too difficult. For a lot of students, this was very difficult. Let me read the answers. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. That would be inadvisable. Excuse me? If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 0 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system. That was just an expression. Expression of what? A figure of speech. Now, what is happening? This is actually very funny, and I'll try to explain. So the first sentence is most important. We all. You don't need the word all, but it emphasizes we, all of us, we all. In this case, we refers to engineers, okay? Now, the man speaking is an engineer. He's an engine. He actually manages the engine of a spaceship on Star Trek. So he says, we all of us engineers, our team, our group, we all will be burning the midnight oil on this one. In this case, one would refer to project. Burning the midnight oil, a great English expression. What does it mean? Simply, it means to spend all night working. So we will all be spending all night working on this project. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. Very difficult to hear. Now, actually, the man speaking is Irish. So there's a little bit of Irish accent in there. American pronunciation, we'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. Okay? So, burning the midnight oil is a very good expression. Midnight oil, oil means what? Well, like gas, oil. So a long time ago, we used to burn lamps. This is a lamp. And we would burn the lamp all night. Burn the oil in the lamp. Now, is that oil cheap? No, it's very valuable. It's very expensive. So if you burn the midnight oil, you're spending a lot of money. It must be something very important. So the best example is for students. Tomorrow a student has a test. So the student must stay up all night studying. In this case, the student can say, I must burn the midnight oil. I have a test tomorrow. I need to burn the midnight oil. Do you guys like to burn the midnight oil? Oh, me neither. When we talk about burning the midnight oil, it refers to working or studying. Not playing, not dancing or drinking. We don't say, I burned the midnight oil at the disco, at the nightclub. No, we don't say that. When we study or when we work all night, we use the expression, burning the midnight oil. Now, I asked you guys to give me this expression in your language. And I've got Russian, Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, Thai, Korean. I have received several languages, so I will practice those expressions in your language at the end of the explanation. So just wait. Let's go to the next sentence. Now, the guy who says this, that would be inadvisable, he's actually an android. An android. Do you know what an android is? It's a robot and a human. It's a human-looking robot. Okay? So it's an AI human, an artificially intelligent human. It's a human with a computer in its brain. So, that would be inadvisable. That. What is that? That refers to burning the midnight oil. Would be inadvisable. Not a good idea. Inadvisable means not a good idea. Oops, idea. So for example, hey, should I start smoking? Oh, Coach Shane, that would be inadvisable. Hey, I'm just going to have one more beer and then I'll drive home. No. That would be inadvisable. So in this situation, what is inadvisable? What is not a good idea? Burning the midnight oil. Excuse me? What? Why are you telling me this is not a good idea? You don't think we should work all night? You think we can relax? What? He sounds a little bit angry. Excuse me? And the android's name is Data. And Data says, if you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 0 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system. What? Remember, Data is a computer. So it speaks like a computer. If you attempt to, if you try to. Ignite. What does ignite mean? To start something on fire. So to ignite my, this is not working. To ignite my marker. It doesn't ignite. It doesn't ignite. What ignites? Oil. Oil ignites. If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product, oil. On this ship, it's a spaceship. It's a spaceship. At 0 hours, this is military time. So at 12 a.m. At 12 a.m. At midnight. We can also say midnight. So 0 hours is 12 a.m. or midnight. Yokshi, this is a computer expression. If you do that, you will activate. What does activate mean? Basically, start or cause to start. To start. You will start the fire suppression system. What? Fire suppression system? Oh, you mean the sprinklers. You will activate the sprinklers. And here is a picture of sprinklers. So if a fire starts in a building, these sprinklers are activated, correct? So, do you understand what data is saying? What this man is saying, the computer is saying? He heard this expression and he actually thinks that they will actually be burning midnight oil. But are they actually going to burn midnight oil? No! That was just an expression. That was just an expression. Instead of expression, we can say idiom. That was just an idiom. We're not actually going to burn the midnight oil. It means we're going to work all night. But data doesn't understand. Expression of what? A figure of speech. A figure of speech refers to an expression, an idiom. And once again, it's an idiom that means to work all night. So, what is the humor? The humor is the robot, Data, the android, took the idiom literally. Literally. Now, instead of took, which is past tense for take, we could say understood. Understood. So he understood the idiom literally. What does literally mean? Literally means the words as they are defined in the dictionary. So if you look in the dictionary, burning, midnight, 0, 100 hours. Oil, burning oil, 0, 100 hours. Oh, you will be burning oil at 0, 100 hours? Oh, that's not a good idea. That is taking the definition, taking the meaning of the words literally. Okay? So other examples. I will love you until I die. Really? Will you actually love the person until you die? I hope so, but maybe not. Especially when we're young, we say to a woman or to a man or whatever, I will love you till I die. But then a week later or 2 weeks later, we fall in love with someone else. It's an idiom. It's an expression. It's a figure of speech. You should not take the words literally. Another great expression, you are driving me up the wall. You are driving me. Okay, so you're driving and I'm in the passenger seat. You're driving me up the wall. Up the wall? How can you drive up the wall? You cannot take that idiom literally. It means you are making me crazy. You are frustrating me. Okay? So to take something literally means to understand the words as they are in the dictionary. And that's what Data did, which is the humor. Is it funny? I hope so. Remember, the blue person, the guy, Data, the android, he's a computer. So when he hears words, he uses the dictionary definition. He does not know the actual meaning of the idiom. Okay? So, it's a great expression, burning the midnight oil. Do you often burn the midnight oil? Last night, I burned the midnight oil. I had some work to do, and I didn't finish until about 2 a.m. And finally, I went to bed. So I didn't stay up all night, but I was working until very late. When was the last time you burned the midnight oil? Now let me read it again. Let's check pronunciation. We will all. We'll all. But the American pronunciation sounds more like will all. Will all. So actually, this we will when we say it fast, sounds like will. Will. Will all. And then you need to connect. Will all. We'll all be burning the midnight oil. Midnight oil. It's a stop sound. Midnight oil? No. Midnight oil? No. Midnight oil? Midnight oil. On this one. On this one. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. You ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one. That would be inadvisable. That would be inadvisable. 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 That would be inadvisable. That is not a good idea. Excuse me? What? Excuse me? If you attempt to ignite American pronunciation, ignite if you attempt to ignite a petroleum product, petroleum, American pronunciation, petroleum product on this ship at 100 hours. At 100 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system. Fire suppression system. Never use this expression. Say sprinklers. That was just an expression. 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 Expression of what? Expression of what? Expression of what? A figure of speech? A figure of speech? Remember, an expression, a figure of speech, an idiom, they're all the same thing. Okay? So I hope that you understood the humor, and I hope that it's easier now. I'll play the audio 2 more times. Listen carefully. Try and role play. The first time, be blue. The second time, be the black. Okay? And remember, down below, there is the original video link, so you can watch the original video there too. Okay? So you practice, and we'll be back with DD 174. Oh, right. It's time for me to practice burning the midnight oil in your language. This was so difficult. So, here I go. Ieri a madrugada. Работа то клубо коноча. Той пердок питавох. Работа засушив рукава. Tamnang
Trabajar hasta altas horas de la madrugada.
Fazer serum. Queimar pestañas. Varar a noite.
A prova final é amanhã, então eu vou varar a noite estudando.
Travae de aspi. Nós vamos arder no olhar da meia-noite.
We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one.
That would be inadvisable.
Excuse me?
If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 100 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system.
That was just an expression.
Expression of what?
A figure of speech. We'll all be burning the midnight oil on this one.
That would be inadvisable.
Excuse me?
If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 0 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system.
That was just an expression.
Expression of what?
A figure of speech.
Did you hear the news? In the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, Netherlands, of the Netherlands, there was a huge burglary, an art heist. Some thieves broke into a museum and stole several very valuable artworks, masterpieces, paintings by very, very famous painters. Okay? Now, a problem with English is proper nouns. So, for example, the city names. For example, in English, we say Moscow. But I believe in Russian, it's more similar to Moskva. Is that correct? I'm not sure. In America, we say Paris. But I believe in France, they say Paris. Paris. In America, we say Seoul. Seoul. Seoul, South Korea. But in Korea, they say Seoul. Seoul, South Korea. Or Seoul, Daehanmingu. The pronunciation is a little bit different. So, when you're learning English, it's best to learn the English pronunciation of city names and country names and people's names also. Okay? And that's not easy. Now, I agree. Many times the American pronunciation of your city names or famous people's names is terrible. I agree. But I did not create the American pronunciation. I'm only teaching the pronunciation. So, there are some artists' names that might be a little bit difficult for you to dictate in this next DD-174, and that's the challenge. So, good luck with the dictation. Now, remember, this Friday, so every Friday night, I do a live Google chatting session English lesson, and I want you guys to join. So if you go to Google Plus and you add me as a friend on Friday night, Seoul, South Korea time, that is +9 GMT, 11 p.m., Seoul, South Korea time, 11 p.m., I will begin another live session, and I want you to join me. Only 10 people can join, so you might not find a space. Anyway, you can watch us live on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, to my channel, main channel page, Daily Dictation, you can watch us there. So please join me tomorrow night for another live lecture. And also follow me on Twitter. My ID is coachshane, and I'll send you a picture of this board so you can study. And I'll also give you audio lessons. There will be an audio recording and through Hallow, so thanks a lot to Hallow. And of course, if you're on Twitter, you can get updates on when I upload new videos. Okay? So, yeah, language learning is very difficult. I know it's tough, especially the pronunciation. And as you saw, my pronunciation is not good. But I like trying. So I hope that you continue to practice. Remember, to improve your listening skills, you gotta get the pronunciation. Good luck on DD-174. See you tomorrow night. And our next lesson will probably be 2 or 3 days later. Okay? Bye-bye.
What a haul! A Picasso, a Matisse, two Monets, a Gauguin, and more. As good as art gets. The value, more than $100 million. What a haul! A Picasso, a Matisse, two Monets, a Gauguin, and more. As good as art gets. The value, more than $100 million. What a haul! A Picasso, a Matisse, two Monets, a Gauguin, and more. As good as art gets. The value, more than $100 million. What a haul! A Picasso, a Matisse, two Monets, a Gauguin, and more. As good as art gets. The value, more than $100 million.
This class was approved by T. Oh, I'm T.